It's your summer. What the bird is barbecuing.
G'day jabronis, it is the Verd here, back with you again. Welcome to Week 2 Teambuilder for the National Pokeball League. Your Tampa Frogadiers going up against RazorWolf and the Chicago Bewears. Now, if you don't want a spoiler of Week 1, do not listen right now. I'm giving you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. So as you guys know, we did end up getting that Week 1 W against Seb, which was awesome. Really good way to shake off the nerves, and we're heading into this week with a massive load of momentum behind us, and hopefully we can continue this really good form and pick up a Week 2 victory. Not going to be easy. Razor has a very scary team and a few mons that just, in this matchup are very, very strong against me. So it's going to definitely be a test, but I'm really looking forward to the challenge for this one. So what I'm going to do, as always, is just break down the current team that I have planned, why I'm bringing it, all that good stuff. And there's not going to be a face cam for this team builder. However, when I get into the actual battle itself, because I do my team builder and battle separate, for the battle, as requested by a lot of people who wanted to see my face, I am going to be doing face cam, kind of recapping the battle. So yeah, that's something for you guys to look forward to. But without further ado, let's actually crack into the team that I have for Razor. So Razor, the big thing about Razor's team is he has a lot of very good offensive threats. I think defensively it's not the best, but offensively definitely a bunch of threats that I've got to watch out for and play around as best that I can. The biggest threat by far on his team to me is probably the Mamoswine, just because my team just gets absolutely rolled by the combination of stab moves, so I just got to play really smart around it, and that is the current plan. With this team, I actually only have, like on this team especially, I've got a lot of ways to deal with it I'll discuss, but I'm going to go through each mon, kind of explaining what it does, why it works, and all that jazz. So we're going to roll straight in first with Ty Dillinger. The reason why Tentacruel is being shown first, guys, is because it is my designated lead in this matchup. The problem I was finding when building for Razor was looking at a way to kind of handle whatever kind of he decided to lead with, because if he led with Mamo, then I'd be in a lot of trouble leading with, Nihilega or Bulu or something. So I decided to lead with this Tentacruel, and this Tentacruel set's kind of designed in a way that it deals with almost every single lead that he could use against me. So first and foremost, it has the Wakanberry and the AT Spadef in there, because with that investment I can take a Gigavolt Havoc from a Timid Max Special Attack Thundurus, as well as taking a +2 Thunderbolt from Thundurus, which is basically the same thing as the Gigavolt Havoc, more or less. So that's really important for me though, being able to take that hit. It means that, if he tries to nasty plot my face, I can go for Sludge Wave. 2 Sludge Waves knocks out his Thundurus. It's a very good chance. I think it's like a 94% chance to knock it out. So if he tries to nasty plot up in my face, I can just go for Sludge Wave, then he'll try and Thunderbolt. Won't be able to knock me out. I can then Sludge Wave again and kill him, and a massive threat to my team is dealt with by turn 2. Or potentially he'll just go straight for the Thunderbolt. I'll be able to eat it up, get off the damage I need with Sludge Wave to put him into potential like Kartana range, and then I can switch out to other things after that. It's very solid in the lead matchup against a lot of members of the team. The main one as well as Mamoswine. Obviously, as you can see, I've designed this in a way where it outspeeds Mamoswine. Now, Surf is like a 90+% chance to Oko Mamoswine if he's Life Orb, and if he is sashed, I assume he'll just try and go for Rocks turn 1 to get them up, which is awesome because my Surf can bring him down to sash, he'll go for Rocks, and then I can spin on the next turn and knock out Mamo. So potentially by turn 2, Mamo could be absolutely rendered useless, and if it is Scarfed, then I unfortunately lose Tentacruel, but it's really good scouting for my team, and my team honestly against Scarf Mamo is able to deal with a threat like that. That is honestly probably a more preferred Mamo that I'd like to see in this matchup, because mixed attacking Mamo, or like Life Orb Mamo especially, is very, very scary. But moveset wise, so Sludge Wave, obviously Sludge Wave and Surf, the main 2 stabs, they're just doing a tremendous amount of damage. I could obviously run Scald, but like I said, I'm running Surf because it allows me to basically just knock Mamoswine straight out. Sludge Wave is there because it is my strongest poison move. I could run Bomb for the potential chance of poison, but the fact that this basically almost secures the 2 KO on Thundurus is very, very important. Rapid Spin, pretty straightforward. Get rid of those hazards. My team doesn't really appreciate Rocks or Spikes, which he has an abundance of, so being able to deal with that would be fantastic. And HP Fire is there because in testing I was tossing up between HP Fire or running Ice Beam, because Ice Beam obviously hit Thundurus a bit harder and hit Latios, but in practice I found that I was never really having the chance to use Ice Beam, and Hidden Power Fire is really handy against the Fortress because As I've seen in a few of my mocks, Fortress has been running the Ockerberry for potential Nihilego HP Fire, or obviously Arcanine going for Flamethrower, so being able to burn the Ockerberry that way with Tentacruel could be really handy and really clutch, as well as the fact that Surf plus HP Fire knocks out almost any variant of Fortress that my opponent can have, barring Ockerberry. So I really like that, and I think, you know, Tentacruel is just a fantastic lead for the team. But moving on to the next mon that we have here, and it is a very bulky Umbreon with a very important purpose. First and foremost, this Umbreon is designed solely with the job of dealing with Mega Latios. It is EV'd in a way that there is realistically no Latios set that can stop me. Even with 0 attack IVs and EVs, Foul Play is always going to be a 2-hit KO unless he is very defensively invested, which is why I have the Toxic and the Wish Protect. It's a very almost standard set, you would say, but in this matchup, it's incredibly solid. Protect is really good for scouting potential Scarfed Mons, or you know, Mienshao potentially just trying to go for high jump kick to knock me out. Could be really nice too. Obviously, Wish is really good because I can either pass it out to other teammates, or just Wish Protect and just be really annoying that way, which is always fun. I'm just running 16 speed on the off chance he tries to creep with a few of his slower mons like Azu and whatnot. Could be really handy just as a, you know, getting a clutch poison off, or the other really good play with Umbreon, because it outspeeds some things, going for a Wish, knowing Umbreon's about to die, and then going out into another mon that's weaker that can revenge straight away and then get its health back after revenging. Is another really good option. But yeah, +1 Draco from max special attack Latios does 70% maximum to this spread, and +1 Outrage from like physically offensive Latios does like 60% max. So regardless, Umbreon is able to take on Mega Latios just fine. I just got to try and preserve it at good health, watch out for hazards and all that, but it also can deal with things like the Mamoswine and the Aerodactyl if I play it smart enough, but I got to be really, you know, careful with it if I do those situations. But moving on to Trish Stratus making her debut. Sorry, I was going to say Dusty Rhodes making his debut. Trish Stratus also making her debut this week. 2 debutantes. And this is a really solid set. When I was using this in mocks, I found it to be one of my more reliable, solid sets. First and foremost, obviously, Entei check, as well as being able to deal with things like the Chesnaught, the Mienshao, stuff like that. But what it also does really well is it just catches a lot of my opponent's team off guard. Obviously, having Toxic is great to catch Entei with, and then having the Willow for things like the Azumarill is really nice dual status. That works very well on my team. Morning Sun, obviously, for that nice and clean recovery, and then Flamethrower is there to be able to hit up a lot of his team neutrally. I kind of like Flamethrower more than Flare Blitz here because I didn't really need the recoil, and it was able to just, you know, hit his team quite solidly with that base 100 special attack stat, and the dual status of this Arcanine is really solid. Like I said, being able to catch Entei as well as Azu with this set is really handy, and I'm speed creeping Mamoswine even with a Jolly Nature, so I can Willow it before it EQs me, so I can live and Morning Sun up if I need to and really cripple a big threat on his team. Moving on now to 2 of my bigger kind of just cleaner mons, I suppose. Funnily enough that I called this thing Kenny Omega when it's a cleaner, but Scarf Kartana, really solid in this matchup. Obviously wanted at least something to outspeed Mega Latios, and this is the thing I chose first and foremost. These moves, like, honestly, Leaf Blade and Smart Strike again are just going to be very spammable against my opponent, but X Scissor is mainly there because it's there for the Latios. It does, like, I think 65% minimum, which is Smart Strike does about half, but yeah, getting that bit of extra damage could be really important for me, so definitely wanted to have that on there. And the return is mainly there for the Thunderous Therian. It does about, again, 60 to 65% minimum, so it's really important combined with the Tentacruel, like I said. So if I get off that Sludge Wave early doors, then it automatically puts his Thunderous in range of my Kartana, so really important. Plus, Return is a really easily spammable move, especially if he's for some reason Sapsip or Azumarill. At +1, Kartana can just do an immense amount of damage to Sapsip or Azu, and all Azu can really do back is Skull Burn. There was the potential to run Facade on this Kartana, but I didn't think it was worth it for the potential drop in damage output. But I'm not just running 1 Scarf Mon this week, I am actually running 2 Scarfed Mons. This was kind of a late decision with this one, because I initially on this Mon had Mega Pinsir, but I decided against Mega Pinsir because I found in the matchup it was just really struggling to either set up or just make it impact, whereas I feel having rocks in this matchup is going to be really important for the fact that he has things like the Entei, the Aerodactyl, and because I have a lot of things that pressure his Fortress when it comes to spinning, it's going to be a really important mon to have on the team. The three, like the dual stab of choice, is realistically all I needed, but I wanted HP fire there for things like the Fortress to pick it off, and it's just really, like, late game can be quite spammable. It's just kind of a last resort thing to have there. I don't really need it. I could have ran Dazzling Gleam as well, but again, didn't really need that. Main premise of this mon is to get up rocks against somebody that knows that I can just outspeed and kill it, and like force him to go out to something else, and then kind of take advantage of situations. For instance, like if I bring this in against Thunderous, he knows I can knock him out with the power gem. He goes out to Fortress, I get up my rocks. Then he either has to go for the spin, but if he does, I could just go, you know, into Arcanine or maybe into Tentacruel and really pressure him from there. So I think it's just really solid. And then it's a secondary Scarfer as well as Kartana. Like I said, the only thing that's really not outspeeding like Kartana is the Mienshao, but other than that, it outspeeds everything else that could potentially be scarfed on his team and runs through a lot of them. Again, like both of them having Beast Boost is really, really solid for late game cleaning. Once they get a kill and get the boost, like depending on what mons they have left, it can be really nice. So as you've seen, like two big mons that look like very annoying threats to my team are Fortress and I guess Chesnaught, because Fortress can kind of block Nihilego plus Kartana from sweeping, and Chesnaught is just kind of blocking Kartana more from sweeping. So I decided to run a cheeky little Bulu set this week, and it is actually a mixed attacking Tapu Bulu. So the basic premise of this set is to bring it in against something that I know I could like revenge kill quite easily, and or just bring it in against something that I know has amazing presence against, and just go for the sub. As he goes into Chesnaught, Dazzling Gleam with the current spread that I have will 2 KO max HP, which I think he will be. I don't really think he has any reason to run any Spadef in his Chesnaught. So then I'm going to be able to 2 KO with Dazzling Gleam, and by the time he's died, even if he goes for Poison Jab to break my sub, I will have knocked out Chesnaught. It would have been out of the way, and that really opens the door for Kartana to kind of come through with a lot more of its power moves. It's also really nice, as I said, for baiting in Fortress, which might want to come in against this Bulu. I can go for HP Fire, again burning that potential Ockerberry and whatnot. And then I've actually got all my attack investment with Woodhammer, because even though both Chesnaught and Fortress are switch-ins to Bulu normally, that's the kind of point of this set, is that I have Gleam and HP Fire to cover any switch into Woodhammer, and then anything else that doesn't switch into Woodhammer is catching the Adam, or it's not Adamant, it's technically Naughty, but max attack boosted Woodhammer, which is going to do like an absolute ton. Like, I'm really excited of how much it's going to do. Now, with the EVs, I'm hoping it gets fixed up with Draft League, as you're seeing here, when I get into the game, that I'll be able to have the right EV, so it can be like maxed out, optimizing Bulu to its full potential. But yeah, this set is really nice for baiting. Like, one of the cool things with this Bulu set is that max attack Woodhammer in grassy terrain is doing half to Mega Latios, and it's doing half to Entei. So Entei, which is actually another mon that could switch in against Bulu, is not really switching it that well, especially if rocks are up too. Then Bulu can pretty much just decimate Entei, and that is like absolutely fantastic. Being able to wear it down. So yeah, I feel really good about this team. I can take a lot of advantage early with Tentacruel. It kind of handles most of the things he'd want to lead with. Then Umbreon and Arcanine are a really solid defensive core. And then obviously having the two Scarfers to kind of bust through his team late game, as well as having, you know, Bulu as another potential breaker. It's just fantastic. I felt a little bit iffy about this team just because he has like so many things that can break it. But I feel that there is like a really nice balance with the team now that I'm really enjoying and finding good. I mean, there is the thing of like this Bulu set, if he brings a Sapsiba Azu, it could be kind of walled. But you have to factor in that if he's a Sapsiba Azu, then I have things like Kartana and Tentacruel, which can come in quite freely against him and just completely take advantage of that situation. So I have my outs for it, but I feel very happy about the team. I'm really hoping this Bulu set puts in a lot of work, because I do genuinely think it could be really nice to catch him off guard with, but we'll have to see how it goes. I feel very confident about the team. Let me know how you guys feel about the team in the comment section below. Don't forget also to like, subscribe, and comment, all that good stuff. Go check out the NPL channel as well, where they upload like a lot of great stuff like the power rankings, the recaps, all that good shit. And then, while you're at it, go check out all the coaches, especially my opponent this week, RazorWolf. But that is going to do it for me, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. My name is Averd, and I'll catch you guys next with the battle from NPL Week 2. I'm out this bitch.